What's going on, guys? I am Tracer, and in this video we're going to take a look at all the updates coming to iRacing for Season 4 2015. It's basically for anybody who doesn't feel like reading through the entire release notes of iRacing, and possibly for anybody else on the outside looking in and looking to get into iRacing, because with a lot of these updates coming out, the experience in iRacing in general is definitely taking a big leap forward in racing simulation. So let's jump right into it. The first thing we have here is kind of basically just the general website fixes. Usually any bugs that come up they fix throughout the season, fix with the new season, and generally make the homepage and dashboard just more friendly and easier to navigate. Nothing major to announce, but they generally make a better, more fluid and easy homepage to work with. The second big thing in this update is their dedication to preventing cheating. Right, so they hired a company, Easy Anti-Cheat, so they're going to outsource a lot of their cheating software and stuff to really kind of crack down on any cheating out there in iRacing. Personally, I haven't really come across anybody that's blatantly cheating. I mean, I've seen a couple people maybe like heat up their tires in qualifying or something, but they've gotten rid of that in previous builds. But I haven't really noticed anybody actually messing with the software or doing anything too crazy, which is good. So their methods have been good already, but now they're just going to make them even better because I guess the sim is becoming a lot more popular. So it's probably it's hard to fight it off entirely. So they're definitely this is definitely really good. And hopefully, I'll still never really come across somebody who's just blatantly cheating and just blowing by everybody else. But it will be kind of funny if we start noticing some fast guys that aren't so fast anymore. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't think they will. The majority is they're up there because of their talent and their skill. The next big thing that they have here is splitting the multi-car class fields. The current state or current algorithm, as they put it, is there's going to be X amount of drivers in that race, and then they're going to split them out individually for the race. Say, for example, IMSA, right? IMSA, I think it splits at 30 drivers or 30 teams, right? This is IMSA at Watkins Glen. And there's 4 separate cars in this class. There's a Riley, the HPD, the Ford, and the Rough. The most popular car is the HPD. As you can see here, it's got a lot more participation than the other classes, right? But it kind of isn't really good for these classes with only 4 or 3 or even less drivers in them, because it kind of takes away from their competition and their racing experience. So what iRacing is going to do now is they're going to still have the same amount of drivers, but they're going to split it up in the sense that they're going to put all of the Riley drivers together in the top split, and then maybe all the Ford drivers together in the top split, and then maybe they'll put all the Rough drivers in the bottom split. And they'll also counteract that by having less HPD drivers in the top split and putting more of them in the bottom split. So basically, a quick calculation for how this is now is with the new algorithm. It'll be. I put a little made it here. It'll be like there'll be 7 Riley cars, 14 HPDs, and 8 Ford GTs in the top split. Right, so that kind of evens it out and creates a better racing experience throughout all the classes. And then the bottom class will have like 22 HPDs and 8 Porsches or the Rough C-Spec. This way, it kind of creates a better racing experience for everybody. Some people might not be happy because they'll see the really low I-rating drivers in the top split. But I think overall, it should create a better racing experience across the board, and it'll probably populate the open wheel or the multi-class series a lot better. And then, okay, this is a kind of a little update, but it's kind of very good. The session splits. Normally, how they said they split before is it's just say there's a split of 5 splits for like a Skip Barber race, right? There's going to be like 5 splits. Before it was like generally speaking, everybody in that split, if it was like the European time frame, it would just be a general European server for everybody. Now it splits each individual race into a specific server. Either it's going to be a U.S. server, a Sydney server, or Amsterdam server, which is going to create generally a better connection for everybody out there. Like the top split, it might just be most of the European guys, so it'll have a Euro split, right? And then the bottom split might be all the U.S. guys, and so or more of the U.S. guys. Wait, let me back that up. I want to make sure U.S. looks good. Okay, the top split will be all U.S. drivers because the U.S. is always number one. So if there's a majority of the U.S. drivers in the top split, it'll be a U.S. server. Whereas the bottom split, if it's a majority of European people in the bottom split, it'll be a European server. So within the same race window, it could have different servers per race. So generally speaking, your connectivity will be better throughout multi-split races. The next and the biggest update that's coming out is dynamic tracks. For those who don't know, this is kind of like the big hoorah for iRacing right now is dynamic tracks, which is definitely a big improvement in a good direction with some positive and negatives in my opinion. But we're not going to dive into that. I had another video about me diving completely into dynamic tracks. But for now, I'm just going to kind of cover the basics. So now there's going to be like heat. The sun is going to change the temperature of the track, which is going to adjust how it is in certain areas, especially on the oval. If you have the sun facing directly on one of the embankments compared to the other, that one side of the oval is definitely going to be hotter than the other. Another thing that's going to happen is there's going to be tire buildup. The more you run, the more the tire rubber the more the track is going to rubber in, and the faster the line is going to be. And marbles, offline, it's going to throw marbles, and you'll pick up marbles if you go offline. So it's definitely going to create a lot more of a dynamic racing experience for everybody across the board. And I did some more poking around, and I found out, like, I was originally wondering, how is the rubber going to build up? Is it going to build up per each session, or is it going to build up kind of throughout the week? But what I found out is, for the races, like, there's going to be, how you join a race now, you can do the pre-race practice, and then it'll be qualifying, and then the race. So how it's actually going to work is the pre-race practice will be the first session and a clean slate of rubber, right? So there'll be the first session, anybody in that practice session is laying down rubber. It's going to be that same rubber map that goes into qualifying for that race. So when you qualify, it'll be the same rubber from practice, and then when you go from qualifying to race, it'll be all the same rubber from that practice session, that race, and then that qualifying, and then that race. So that's how the rubber buildup is going to be. And they said it's going to be somewhere like, this is not a specific number right now, but it'll be somewhere around a default of like 40% rubber in to start with. And then, but depending on how that is, they'll probably adjust that number, or maybe it'll be default to be a slightly different number as well. So this is definitely going to be pretty interesting. And then after that race, there'll be another race session where it's like more or less a clean slate, and go and try it again. I think there was another thing here. Let me think. And oh yeah, this is something that's kind of funny. I noticed. It says, in a multi-session event, each session can be specified individually to simulate changes to the track between sessions due to additional running or from an overnight rain. So I guess it's official. iRacing has rain now. It's just nobody can see it, and it happens at night when nobody's on the server. So I thought that was pretty funny. Or maybe that's just like a little Easter egg of what's to come. The overnight rain. Or maybe we'll have some actual rain sessions. But I thought that was pretty funny. They put that in here in the release notes. Now, kind of like some other little small things. Here is the borderless window support, which basically thinks, you're just going to have, if you're in window mode, you're just not going to have a border on it, which is pretty cool, I guess. I mean, I don't know, I run it full screen, so it's not going to affect me. Some other little tidbits here. Replay, not sure. Don't do much of that. Telemetry, you know, if you're there's a little tidbits about the telemetry. Keyboard macros for fast repair, but that's only for some of the lower things. Here's another little thing that helps out for some people, the audio. Like, I know if you do a Skype call with somebody during a race, it'll kind of dim your audio for on iRacing if you're in a Skype call. So I think that's what this bug fixed. This is going to fix that, so you still have the full audio from iRacing, which is good. And then for those who use the driving aids, there's another little tidbit that helps you out. But I will note, you should try and avoid driving aids no matter what you're doing. But they have fixed or made it more efficient, the auto blip, for anybody who has auto blip enabled. But just as a little side note, it is actually faster if you do not have auto blip and you auto blip yourself. But it does take some time to get used to it. But if you get used to it, it is faster than actually having the auto blip. Just as a side note, so you want to try and get rid of any driving aids you have. So that's going to be about it for all of the major updates coming this build. The only thing really left on the release notes is the individual car updates. I'll put a link to the release notes in the description below if you want to check out what your specific car might be getting this coming build. And there's a few other little track updates coming as well. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you out at all, I would love it if you help me out by subscribing. It definitely goes a long way, and it's greatly appreciated. Anyway, until the next video, which is going to be tomorrow, because Sunday is my normal release video. Hope to catch you in that one. Until then, stay true and race on.